The night smelled of smoke and roasted meat as Tunde jogged down the deserted street. The wind carried that familiar spice: pepper, ginger, onions, and something else he couldn't name. His stomach growled. He had skipped dinner after a long day at work, and the city was asleep. Then he saw the glow, a small Suya stand flickering under a broken streetlight. The man behind the grill wore a worn cap and a bloodstained apron. His face was calm, expression unreadable. "Good evening," the man said, turning the sizzling meat with slow precision. Tunde smiled. "Ah, perfect timing, barber. Everywhere else is closed." The man nodded without looking up. Good meat doesn't wait for the sun. He sliced a piece from the grill and handed it to Tunde with bare fingers. "Taste. First one is free." The meat melted in Tunde's mouth. Soft, rich, addictive. "This is incredible," he said, almost moaning. The old man chuckled quietly. "Real flavor takes sacrifice." Tunde didn't think much of it. He bought 2 more wraps, paid, and walked home in bliss. The next night, he came again. And the next. It became routine. Each evening after work, he stopped by barber's stall, drawn by the smell. The man always greeted him the same way. "You came back. My boy, hunger never sleeps." One night, while eating, Tunde noticed something odd. A young girl stood near the stall, staring blankly. She wore school uniform, her shoes muddy. Barber handed her a paper wrap. She didn't pay, just turned and walked away into the darkness. Tunde frowned. "She forgot to pay you." Barber's knife froze mid-air. "She's a friend." "A friend?" "Not all payments are in cash," Barber said softly, and resumed cutting. The words lingered in Tunde's head long after he left. The following week, news spread in the neighborhood: a missing girl. Same uniform. Same street. The police were asking questions, but no one had answers. Tunde's chest tightened. He remembered the girl at the stall. The smell of meat suddenly turned his stomach. He avoided the stand for days, but the cravings wouldn't stop. The memory of that smoky flavor haunted him, invaded his sleep. On the 5th night, he gave in. When he arrived, the street was empty. The fire burned lower than usual. Barber looked up and smiled. "Ah, my boy. I was wondering when the hunger would call you again." Tunde forced a laugh. "It's been busy days." The man nodded. "Busy world. Sit. Tonight, you taste something new." He pulled a small pot from under the table. The smell was strong, almost sweet. Tunde hesitated. "What's that?" "Special meat," Barber said. "Rare. Tender." He cut a piece, sprinkled pepper, and offered it. Tunde's mouth watered, but something felt wrong. "Where do you get your meat from?" he asked casually. The old man's smile faded. "Why does that matter?" "Just curious," Tunde said. "Curiosity," Barber murmured, "spoils appetite." Tunde forced a grin and bit into the suya. The taste exploded. Perfect again. But as he chewed, his teeth hit something hard. He spat it out discreetly, a small white chip. He stared at it under the streetlight. It wasn't bone. It was a tooth. His throat closed. He coughed violently. The old man watched him calmly. "Is the flavor too strong?" Tunde dropped the stick and stumbled back. What is this?" Barber's voice dropped to a whisper. "You liked it before you knew. You came back every night for it." Tunde shook his head, horror crawling over him. "You're sick." The man sighed. "You all are. You eat without asking. You crave, you devour, you never care where it comes from. I just give you what you already are." He stepped closer. His apron gleamed wet in the dim light. "Meat is meat, my boy. Only taste matters." Tunde backed away, tripping over a bucket. The lid flew off. Inside were scraps of skin, a bracelet, and something that looked like a hand. He screamed. Barber's voice rose behind him. "Do you think I kill for pleasure? No. I feed the hungry. The city's full of lost ones no one misses. They feed others now, it's balance." Tunde turned and ran. His heart pounded. He didn't look back. At home, he locked the door, shaking. He couldn't sleep. His tongue still burned with pepper and shame. He called the police the next morning. They said they'd check it out. But when officers reached the location, there was nothing. No stall. No ashes. No sign anyone had ever grilled there. Tunde thought he'd gone mad. Weeks passed. The nightmares worsened. Flames, knives, whispers. He moved to a new area, tried to forget. Then one Friday night, walking home from work, he smelled it again, that unmistakable aroma of suya and spice. He froze. Down the street, a new stall glowed red. A young man stood behind the fire, smiling at customers. Same wooden table. Same blood-stained apron. Tunde's heart stopped. The man looked up, and smiled exactly like Baba. "Evening, my boy," he said, voice low and familiar. "You came just in time. My fire is still warm." Tunde stepped back slowly. "Who are you?" The man's grin widened. "Just the new seller. The old one taught me his recipe before he retired." The air thickened with smoke. Tunde stumbled away as the laughter followed him down the street, calm, patient, echoing like fire crackle. They say the new stall still appears on quiet nights, always moving, always near the last missing person's home. And if you ever walk alone and smell that perfect suya, remember, some flavors aren't meant to be tasted twice. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe.